What if I told you that your silence could be your loudest weapon? Not every storm makes noise. Some build quietly, gathering power, gathering force, until one day they explode, and no one knows what hit them. That's exactly what your grind should be. Silent, relentless, unstoppable. In a world where everyone is shouting, showing off, begging for attention, what if you chose the opposite path? What if you stopped telling people your goals and just let them watch you achieve them? What if you stopped explaining your moves and just made moves so powerful they couldn't be ignored? This video isn't about motivation that fades in a few minutes. It's about flipping a switch inside you that says, I don't need the world to notice me right now. Because when they finally do, it'll be too late to stop me. They won't see your early mornings. They won't see your late nights. They won't see the failures, the sacrifices, the moments you almost gave up. But one day, they'll see what all that silence created. And when they do, you won't need to explain a single thing. Your results will speak for themselves. So if you're ready to stop talking and start becoming something they'll never forget, then lock in, because this is how you work in silence. And shock the world with your success. Let the world doubt you. Let them doubt you. Let them laugh. Let them whisper. Let them scroll past your efforts like you don't matter. Because you're not here to convince anyone. You're here to build something that can't be ignored. Most people spend their lives trying to prove their worth too early. They talk loud, they show off, they try to impress. But listen, kings don't beg for attention. They stay quiet until it's time to rule. You don't need to explain your every move. You don't owe the world an update on your progress. Because real strength moves in silence. You know what's more powerful than telling them what you're going to do? Doing it without saying a single word. The ones who doubt you right now, they're fuel, not your enemy, your energy. Every time someone overlooks you, underestimates you, or counts you out, they're giving you exactly what you need, motivation. They expect you to fold, to quit, to settle. So when you keep going in silence, it messes with their minds. They talk, you work. They show, you build. They post, you focus. And when the time comes, your results will silence every opinion that ever tried to limit you. Because nothing is more satisfying than proving people wrong, without ever having to say, I told you so. So don't chase applause. Don't crave recognition. Crave results. Let them assume you're not capable. Let them believe they've figured you out. Because when you finally show up with success in your hands, you won't just surprise them, you'll shock them. So keep your head down. Let the noise fade. And remember, the most dangerous person is the one who smiles quietly, while building a future no one saw coming. Make silence your power. Silence isn't weakness. Silence is power. Loud people need attention, focused people don't. When you work in silence, people assume you're doing nothing. Good, let them. Because that's where your advantage lies. While they're out there making noise, showing off progress they haven't earned, you're in the shadows, training, sharpening, building. You're becoming something dangerous, quietly. You see, real change doesn't happen when everyone is watching. Real transformation happens when no one sees it coming. It happens at 5 a.m. when the world is asleep. It happens when you're reading, grinding, sweating, failing, alone. No applause, no praise, no likes. Just commitment. And that's exactly what separates the real ones from the performers. You want power? Then stop announcing every step. Move in silence. Because silence builds mystery, and mystery builds momentum. Let the others spend their time posting. You spend yours perfecting. Let them chase the spotlight. You stay hidden until you're undeniable. Because silence is where discipline lives. And discipline, that's the foundation of success. When you make silence your home, you stop seeking motivation from the outside. You stop needing noise to keep you going. Your fuel comes from within, from your vision, from your hunger, from the voice inside you that says, "I'm not there yet, but I will be." That quiet confidence is rare. That patience is rare. That kind of focus is what makes people unstoppable. And when you finally break the silence, it won't be with words. It'll be with results. It'll be with success so loud it shakes the ones who never saw you coming. So don't get loud. Get focused, get dangerous, get silent. Because when you make silence your power, you don't just rise. You rise without warning. Stay obsessed with the process. Everybody wants the results. Everybody wants the recognition. But almost no one wants the process. Why? Because the process is lonely. It's quiet, it's hard. It's full of moments where you question yourself, doubt your path, and wonder if it's all worth it. But here's the truth. The process is the only thing that guarantees the result. You can't post your way to greatness. You can't talk your way to the top. You can only grind, rebuild, fail, repeat. Over and over when no one is clapping. You want to shock them with your success? Then you need to become obsessed, not with the outcome, but with the work. Fall in love with the reps no one sees. Fall in love with the days you don't feel motivated but show up anyway. Fall in love with the small wins, the silent progress, the boring routines, because that's where champions are built. Most people give up not because they're weak, but because they hate the silence of the process. They hate not being seen, but that's where you separate yourself. You don't need to be seen. You need to get better. You don't need noise. You need obsession. The process will test you. It will humble you. It will ask you, are you still willing to show up when no one's watching? And if your answer is yes, day after day, then eventually your results will be so loud they won't need an explanation. That's how you shock the world. Not by skipping the grind, but by mastering it. Stay locked in. Stay consistent. Stay obsessed with the work. Because when you truly commit to the process, success becomes inevitable. Not a question of if, but when. Let your success do the talking. There's nothing louder than success, especially when it shows up without a warning. You didn't beg for validation. You didn't broadcast your every move. You didn't try to convince the world you were working. You just did the work. And now, the results speak for themselves. This is the moment you've been building for, not to prove them wrong with words, but with wins. Not to shout, but to show. Because when success walks in the room, even the loudest critics fall silent. The same people who ignored you will now watch in disbelief. The same ones who said you couldn't will ask how you did, and you won't need to explain a thing. Because success needs no explanation. You let them doubt you. You let them laugh. And you answered with silence until your success became the loudest thing they ever heard. This is the difference between those who crave attention and those who earn respect. Anyone can talk. Anyone can fake it for the camera. But not everyone can grind quietly for years and rise with something real. You didn't come this far to gloat. You didn't suffer in silence just to talk back. You came to dominate quietly and leave them stunned. The real flex is peace. It's walking into a room and not having to say a word because everyone already knows what you've done. So don't seek revenge. Don't seek applause. Seek progress. Seek mastery. Seek a legacy so powerful it speaks for itself. Because in the end, the loudest message you'll ever send, this is the one you never even have to say. So keep your grind private. Keep your energy focused. And when it's time, let your success do all the talking. So now you understand. The world doesn't need to hear about your dreams. It needs to witness your results. The noise? That belongs to those who need attention to feel relevant. But the silence? That belongs to you, the focused, the disciplined, the dangerous. You don't need to prove anyone wrong with your words. Prove them wrong with the life you build, with the results they never saw coming, with the success they told you was impossible until it wasn't. Every day you choose silence over distraction, discipline over comfort, and action over approval. You are planting seeds that will grow into something massive. And when the world finally sees what you've built, there will be no need to clap back. No need to remind them who you are. Your success will do all the talking. So keep going. Keep pushing. Keep grinding quietly. Let the noise around you fade into the background. Because greatness doesn't beg for attention. It commands it when the time is right. Let them doubt. Let them watch. And when you rise, let it be so powerful, so undeniable, so loud, that your silence echoes in their minds forever. Because that's how you win. Work hard in silence. Shock them with your success.